guys, thanks for clicking today's Reddit Rose report. I got some interesting stories here. Hang on a second while I read this off to you. I get calls and questions about old Rick Steiner. What is he doing? Well, anyway, he's a realtor down in Florida, and I'm not sure whether it's doing home realty or commercial, but anyway, he took place in a Q&A Sunday night on Twitter. It's kind of back and forth question and answers. Didn't take long. Hold on. Does he miss wrestling on TV? Rick Steiner says, honestly, not at all. Would he ever come back to TV, either by himself or maybe Scott Steiner, with Scott Steiner? And he says, nope, sorry, never. Who was his best friend in the wrestling business? Steiner says, Boss Man. He was neighbors. He ever thought about starting his own wrestling school? Steiner said, nope, have no interest. Ever thought about writing a book? Nope, no one would read it. He says, LOL. And another question was, any stories of Tom Billington? He says, piece of crap. And that was it. All right. By the way, Take-Two is WWE's new video game partner. They acquired the rights from licensing for the licensing of all the games from THQ's bankruptcy. Details are kind of slim about what's coming up, other than The Rock being on the cover of 2014. So I don't know. We'll know more on that later. But how THQ went bankrupt with all the games and things they've sold, I don't know. Rey Mysterio commented on Twitter. He says, I want to take this time to thank all my 917,000 plus followers for the support. Should be back in the ring soon. 619 love. All right. I miss this. I'm going to go back and take a look at it. But I usually, on ring entrances and stuff like that, it's usually always the same. So anyway, I kind of scan through it. But last Thursday's Impact Wrestling, TNA ring announcer Christy Hemming mistakenly introduced Austin Aries and tag team partner Bobby Roode as their opponents for the evening, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. Well, anyway, this led to Aries going to the corner of the Diva Search winner in the ring and intimidated her in correctly introducing him before he climbed onto the second turnbuckle, with his feet on the second turnbuckle, shoving his groin in her face. And according to sources within the organization, the scene was not pre-planned. So in response to the former WWE Diva legitimately being bothered by the actions on Impact, a source responded, of course she was. How would you react? This is one thing that's, that if it was works, it would be set up earlier in the day, and girls then have to reassure their agents over and over again that they would be okay with the spot before it got approved for television. Sources added that he believes that she was technically sexually harassed. So anyway, following the show, Hemming voiced her displeasure with Aries' actions via Twitter, deeming it unacceptable. Late Saturday night, Aries appeared to address the situation through social media outlet writing, "Pretty nuts. Some of the junk people get the balls to say over the net, knowing they couldn't to your face. Anyway, time to sack out." Apparently, he's got some clout around there, or some pull that he thinks nothing's going to happen to him. So, we'll see what goes on after that. After Monday's Raw episode went off in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Del Rio, Cena, Orton faced the Big Show, Swagger, and Ryback in a tag team match. 6-man tag match. Cena got the win over for his team. Attitude adjustment on Big Show. So apparently his heel's not bothering him too much, or he couldn't have stood an extra 400 and something pounds on it. And said it was a pretty good match. Zack Ryder, he turns 28 years old. I got some more on birthdays. Vader turns 58. 30-year difference. And the sucker's still wrestling. All right, tonight's WWE TV taking place from the Intrust Center, Bank Center, Wichita, Kansas. Confirmed for tonight's SmackDown is going to be highlight reel with Chris Jericho, Big Show, and Randy Orton. Main event is going to be featuring Rollins versus Kane. And interesting note that WWE is still advertising the injured world champion Dolph Ziggler for tonight's taping. We'll see. He could still show up there and maybe say something if he can remember his lines. No, not to make fun. Fandango and Summer Rae spoke on WWE.com after the dance face-off, whatever it was, with Jericho last night. Fandango said Jericho got a little taste of what's next, the era of the dance, era of Fandango. Hope that era ends real soon. Former WWE star, MVP, and former TNA knockout Rosita has been added to Tommy Dreamer's June 22nd House of Hardcore event in Philadelphia. Let you know more on that as soon as I find out more. And it's been confirmed that the WWE video game will be released, I guess, on PS3 and Xbox only. This is going to be the first WWE game in several years not to be released for Nintendo Wii. Woo! Why? No. As of last night's Raw, there's no timetable for Dolph Ziggler's return to the ring. And birthdays, back to that. WCW trainer and occasional wrestler, Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, 53 years old. Tommy Rogers, 52. USWA, AWA Tag Team Champion Robert Fuller, 62. And Vader's 58, three-time WCW champion, world champion. And today would have also been the birthday of former All Japan UWF and USWA champion Dr. Death Steve Williams, would have been 53. And one-time WWF Tag Team Champion Scott Irwin would have been 61. Thanks for clicking, you guys. If I find out anything else that's going on, I'll be back on here. Otherwise, I gotta go.